I watched the man I loved marry another woman while I stood in the crowd holding the wedding ring he once gave me. Everyone thought I was the abandoned lover who lost everything. They were wrong, because the billionaire groom on that stage had forgotten one truth: already married me once. His memory was stolen, my identity was hidden, and the person who destroyed our love was the one standing closest to us. My name is Elena Carter, and this is the story of the man who forgot he loved me. His name was Adrian Whitmore. 3 years ago, he was not the cold billionaire everyone feared. He was just a broken man sitting alone in the rain, and I was the foolish girl who believed love could save him. I still remember the first time I saw Adrian. It was midnight. A storm had covered the entire city. I was leaving the Pras hospital after finishing my shift when I saw a man sitting outside the emergency entrance. His expensive suit was soaked, his hands were covered in blood, but he didn't seem to care. Everyone walked past him. Nobody stopped, except me. "Are you hurt?" That was the first thing said to him. He looked up. His eyes were empty. "No." I looked at the blood on his hands. "You're obviously hurt." He smiled bitterly. "You shouldn't care about strangers." I sat beside him. Maybe. I looked at the rain. But sometimes strangers are the only people who stay. That night changed everything. Because the man sitting beside me was Adrian Whitmore, the future CEO of Whitmore International, the man who would later become one of the richest people in the world. But at that moment, he was just a lonely man who had lost everything. His father had died. His company was collapsing. His fiancée had left him. Everyone believed his life was over. I didn't. I believed in him. I helped him rebuild. I worked 2 jobs. I gave him my savings. I stood beside him when investors rejected him. When everyone laughed at his dream, only person saying, "You can do it." And slowly, he did. Adrian rebuilt Whitmore International. He became powerful, famous, untouchable. The world saw a billionaire. I saw the man who once cried in my arms. The man who promised, "When I become successful, I'll give you the whole world." I smiled. "I don't need the world." "What do you need?" I looked at him. "You." For a while, I thought I had everything. Until the accident, the night everything disappeared. Adrian and I were driving home after celebrating the company's success. He was laughing. A real laugh. Same laugh from when we first met. Then a truck appeared. The sound of metal crushing. Glass breaking. My world went black. When I woke up, I was in the hospital. The doctor told me I was lucky. I survived. But Adrian was gone. Not dead. Something worse. He was alive. Didn't remember me. I rushed to see him. I expected him to smile. I expected him to hold my hand. Instead, he looked at me like I was a stranger. "Who are you?" Those 3 words destroyed me. I cried, "Adrian, it's me." He frowned. "I'm sorry," the doctor explained. "Memory loss, trauma, temporary condition." They said his memories might return. I waited. 1 week, 1 month, 6 months. But Adrian never remembered me. And then, he met another woman, Sophia Laurent. Beautiful, elegant, from a powerful family. The perfect match for a billionaire. 3 months later, the news broke. Adrian Whitmore announces engagement. Everyone celebrated. Everyone except me, because nobody knew the truth. I was the woman who saved him. The woman who loved him. The woman he forgot. The day of his engagement party, I stood outside the hotel. I wasn't there to ruin anything. I just wanted to see him one last time. Adrian walked onto the stage. Sophia held his arm. The reporters shouted questions. "Mr. Whitmore, are you finally ready to start a family?" Adrian smiled. "Yes." Then he looked at Sophia. "I finally found the person I was meant to be with." My heart broke. Because 3 years ago, he said those exact words to me. I turned around, ready to leave. Then Adrian suddenly looked toward the crowd. His expression changed, like he had seen a ghost. Because his eyes stopped on me. For 1 second, something flashed in his face. Recognition, pain, confusion. Then Sophia touched his arm. "Adrian." He looked away. The moment disappeared. I walked out. But before I reached the street, a man stopped me. "Miss Carter." I turned. A stranger, older, serious. "How do you know my name?" He handed me in. "Because Adrian never forgot you." I froze. "What?" The man looked around. His memories were not lost. My heart stopped. Then, why doesn't he remember? The man whispered, because someone removed them. I stared at the envelope. What is inside? Proof. I opened it. Inside was a photograph, Adrian and me. Together, happy. But the date on the back shocked me. It was taken 1 year after his accident. Impossible. I looked at the man. Where did you get this? He answered. From Adrian. I couldn't breathe. Why would he give you this? The man looked at me. Before he lost his memories, he left instructions. What instructions? The man said. If Elena Carter appears again. A pause. Tell her I never stopped loving her. My eyes filled with tears. But before I could say anything, my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. A cold voice said, Stop searching for Adrian. Who are you? The person who saved him from you. My expression changed. What? The voice continued. You think you lost the man you love. A pause. You didn't. You lost the version of him who knew the truth. The call ended. A message appeared. A photo. Adrian standing inside a private room, talking to someone. Someone I recognized. Sophia Laurent. But Sophia wasn't smiling. She was crying. And Adrian was holding a file. On the file was one name, Elena Carter. Underneath were 3 words, Memory Recovery Plan. My hands started shaking. Because suddenly I understood, Adrian didn't forget me. Someone wanted him to forget, and whoever planned it was still controlling his life. I stared at the photo on my phone for almost a minute. Adrian, Sophia, the mysterious file, Memory Recovery Plan. Those 3 words kept spinning in my mind. If Adrian really had not lost his memories naturally, then every tear I cried during those 3 years was based on a lie. Every night I spent wondering why he abandoned me. Every time I blamed myself. Every moment I watched him move on. Someone had planned it. Someone had stolen the man I loved. I looked at the stranger standing in front of me. Who are you? He hesitated. My name is Daniel Ross. Your relationship with Adrian. Daniel looked at the hotel where Adrian's engagement party was happening. Was his lawyer? Was? Yes. Why are you helping me now? His expression became complicated. Because Adrian asked me to. I froze. When? Before the accident. The rain started falling again, almost exactly like the night I met Adrian. He knew something would happen? Daniel shook his. Not exactly. Then why did he prepare this? Daniel handed me another envelope. Because Adrian never trusted his own family. My fingers tightened. His family. Yes, everyone knew the Whitmore family. A legendary business dynasty. A family that built an empire over 50 years. Adrian was the perfect heir, but behind every powerful family, there were secrets. I opened the envelope. Inside were several documents. The first page shocked me. A private investigation report. The subject, Sophia Laurent. I looked at Daniel. You investigated his fiancée? Yes. Why? Because Adrian asked me to. I quickly read the report. Sophia Laurent, age 28, daughter of the Laurent Group. Public image, elegant, kind, charitable. Private information, connected to multiple financial organizations. Several unknown payments. Secret meetings. But the final page was the most shocking. A photo? Sophia entering a private hospital. The date. The day after Adrian's accident. My heart tightened. Why was she there? Daniel didn't answer. Because he knew I was about to discover something painful. She wasn't visiting Adrian. Then who? Daniel looked at me. You. I froze. What? He pointed at the report. The hospital where you woke up. I stared. She was there. Yes. Why? Daniel lowered his voice. Because she was the person who signed your transfer documents. My face went pale. That's impossible. You don't remember. What? Daniel looked at me. After the accident, you disappeared for 7 days. I frowned. No. Yes. I was in the hospital. You were? Then why would you say I disappeared? Daniel opened another document. A medical record. My name. Elena Carter. But the patient information was different. Different address. Different emergency contact. Different identity. I couldn't speak. Someone had changed my records. Someone had erased my connection to Adrian. Who did this? Daniel said, the same person who erased Adrian's memories. I looked toward the hotel. Toward the man I loved. I need to see him. Daniel immediately shook his head. No, why? Because if they know you found the truth. He stopped. What? They will finish what they started. I laughed bitterly. They already destroyed my life. Daniel looked at me. Seriously. No. His voice became heavy. They destroyed your past. A pause. Not your future. I didn't understand. What does that mean? Daniel looked around. Adrian left something for you? What? A hidden account? I frowned. Money? No. Then what? Information. He handed me a small key. Truth about the accident. I stared at the key, a simple metal key, but somehow it felt heavier than anything. Where does it open? Daniel answered, the old Whitmore family house. The place where Adrian grew up. The mansion everyone thought was abandoned. I looked at him. Didn't Adrian go there himself? Daniel's expression changed. Because he was afraid. Of what? Of remembering. That night, I went to the Whitmore family mansion. I didn't tell anyone. Not Daniel. Not Adrian. Not anyone. The old house stood at the edge of the city, huge, exactly like Adrian, after losing his memories. I unlocked the door. Inside was darkness. Dust covered everything. But one thing was strange. The electricity worked. Someone had been here recently. I walked through the hallway. Generation after generation of Whitmore's power, money, success. Then I saw Adrian's childhood photo. He was only 8 years old, standing beside another boy. I stopped, because I recognized the boy, the same boy from the accident photo. But I had never seen him. The picture was a name. Ethan Whitmore, Adrian's younger brother, the brother everyone said died. When Adrian was a teenager, I touched the photo. Why was Ethan appearing everywhere? Before I could think, I heard footsteps. Someone was inside. I turned around. A woman stood at the end of the hallway. Sophia. My heart jumped. What are you doing here? She looked at me. Not angry, not surprised, just tired. I was waiting for you. I stepped back. You knew I would come. Yes. How? Sophia looked at the key in my hand. Because Adrian gave you that. I froze. You knew? Nodded. Before the accident, my expression hardened. You knew he loved me. Yes. You knew about our relationship. Yes. Then why did you marry him? Her eyes filled with tears. I didn't. I frowned. What? Sophia took a deep breath. You think I stole your life? She shook her head. But I was. Trapped too. I laughed. Trapped? You stood beside him at the engagement party. I had to. Why? Because if I refused? She looked terrified. They would kill him. Silence. The words shocked me. Who? Sophia looked toward the dark hallway. The same people who changed his memories. Stared. Who are they? She whispered. The Whitmore family's hidden organization. An organization. Yes? What is it called? Sophia looked at me. The Ivory Circle. Another name. Another secret. I was starting to understand. Adrian's accident was not an accident. His memory loss was. Not a medical problem. His engagement was not love. Everything was controlled. But why? Why would anyone go this far? Sophia walked toward me. There is something you need to know. What? Adrian remembers more than you think. I froze. What do you mean? He wakes up every night. Because of nightmares. Sophia nodded. And in those nightmares. She looked at me. He calls your name. My heart stopped. He remembers me. Only pieces. What pieces? Sophia whispered. The night of the accident. The mansion suddenly became colder. What happened that night? Sophia looked at me. The accident was planned. I know. No. She shook her head. You don't understand. What? The person who planned it, she paused, was trying to save Adrian from you. My face changed. From me? Sophia nodded. Because before the accident, Adrian discovered something about you. My heart started beating faster. What? Sophia looked at the locked room behind her. The reason everyone is fighting for Adrian is because of the secret you were born with. I stared. What secret? Sophia walked toward the door. Then she whispered. The secret Adrian was willing to die to protect. She opened the door. Inside was a hidden room, and on the wall were hundreds of photos. All of me, from childhood, from school, from work, from every stage of my life. I stepped inside slowly. My entire body went cold, because someone had been watching me my whole life. And in the center of the room was a photo taken 3 days before the accident, Adrian and me, holding hands, smiling. Behind us was a document, a marriage certificate, not the one from the future, the real one, the one dated 3 years earlier. I touched the paper. My hands trembled. Because I finally understood, Adrian and I were not separated by an accident. We had already been married, and someone erased our marriage from the world. I touched the marriage certificate with shaking hands. The paper was old, not a trick. My name was written there. Elena Carter. Adrian Whitmore. Married 3 years ago. Before the accident. Before Sophia. Before the world believed Adrian was single. My mind went completely blank. Because if this was true, then I wasn't the woman who lost Adrian. Was the woman who had already become his wife. Someone had stolen my marriage. Someone had stolen my life. I turned to Sophia. Explain. She looked at the certificate. I hoped you would find this eventually. Eventually. My voice became cold. You knew. Sophia lowered her eyes. Yes. How long? Since the beginning. The anger inside me exploded. You knew Adrian was married to me and still stood beside him? Sophia didn't defend herself. Instead, she said something I never expected. I was there when they took him away from you. I froze. What? Slowly into the room. 3 years ago, after the accident, Adrian woke up. My breathing stopped. He remembered everything. The room became silent. Then why? Sophia looked at me. Because they gave him a choice. A choice. Yes. She looked at the hidden photographs. Forget Elena. Carter forever. Or lose everything. I stared at her. Who threatened him? Sophia didn't answer immediately. Because the answer was clearly dangerous. The Ivory Circle. Another hidden organization. Another enemy. Another group controlling everyone. I clenched my fists. Why me? Sophia looked at the photographs. Because Adrian discovered something about your family. My family? Yes, I laughed. Everyone keeps saying my family is the reason for everything. Sophia looked at me seriously. Because it is, I turned away. I'm tired of secrets. I know. No, you don't. My voice broke. You don't know what it feels like to wake up every day knowing the person you love looks at you like a stranger. Sophia stayed silent. Then she said, I do. I looked at her. What? She smiled sadly. Because Adrian forgot me too. That surprised me. What are you talking about? Sophia sat down. Before the accident, Adrian and I were not lovers. I frowned. But everyone was told to believe that. My expression changed. Then what were you? Sophia looked at the marriage certificate. A protector. For Adrian. For both of you. I didn't understand. Sophia continued. When Adrian discovered the Ivory Circle's plan, he knew they would attack the people closest to him. Me. Yes. And you. Yes. So they made you pretend to be his fiancé. Sophia nodded. They needed the world to believe you were gone. My heart tightened. Gone? Yes. She looked at me. Officially, Elena Carter died 3 years ago. The words hit me like lightning. What? Sophia opened another file. Inside was a newspaper. The headline made my blood freeze. Local woman dies after car accident. My photo, my name, my death. I couldn't speak. The world believed I was dead while I was alive, hidden, forgotten, waiting for a man who was never allowed to find me. Why am I alive? Sophia whispered. Because Adrian protected you. I looked at her. He forgot me. No. She shook her head. He sacrificed his memories. I froze. What? Sophia pointed at another document. A medical agreement. Adrian's signature. He agreed to the memory procedure. My hands trembled. He chose this. Yes. Why? Sophia looked at me. Because the Ivory Circle discovered something. What? They knew you were pregnant. Entire room stopped. I couldn't breathe. What did you say? Sophia's eyes filled with sadness. The accident happened because they found out. My hand slowly moved to my stomach. A memory flashed. A hospital. A doctor. A secret conversation. A feeling I could never explain. No, Sophia whispered. You lost the baby. The pain came back instantly. A pain I thought I had buried forever. The hospital. The empty room. The strange doctors. The missing records. Everything. I remembered pieces. Only pieces. I fell against the wall. Why didn't anyone tell me? Sophia looked away. Because Adrian believed you would be safer without knowing. I laughed through tears. Safer. My voice shook. He erased our marriage. He erased our child. He erased me. Sophia didn't argue. Because she knew. The protection had become another kind of cruelty. Then a sound came from outside. A car. Someone had arrived. Sophia's expression changed instantly. They found us. I wiped my tears. Who? She didn't answer. She didn't need to. The entire mansion suddenly lost power. The hidden room became dark. Then a voice came from the hallway. Elena? I froze, because I knew that voice. Adrian? The door opened. He stood there, looking at me. But this time, his eyes were different. Not empty. Not confused. Painful. Like he had been fighting himself for a long time. Sophia stepped back. He remembered. I looked at Adrian. Is that true? He didn't answer. He just walked closer. Alina. Hearing him say my name almost broke me, because I had waited 3 years for that. But now I was afraid. Afraid that it wasn't real. Do you remember me? His eyes filled with tears. Yes, one word, a word I dreamed about. A word I hated. Needing. I turned away. No, Adrian stopped. Elena, you don't get to come back when it's convenient. His face became painful. I know, you don't get to remember me after destroying everything. I know, you let me believe you never loved me. His voice cracked. I know. I looked at him. Then why? Adrian closed his eyes. Because I remembered the moment they gave me the choice. What choice? He looked at me. They told me they would kill you if I kept my memories. I froze. They said if I searched for you, they would find you. My anger weakened, but the pain remained. Could have told me. I tried. When? Every night. I frowned. What? Adrian stepped closer. Even after the procedure, pieces of my memory returned. My dreams, my feelings, my heart. He looked at me, but my mind didn't know who you were. My eyes filled. That makes no sense. No. He smiled sadly. It doesn't. A strange silence surrounded us. Because that was Adrian. The man who forgot me, but somehow still loved me. Then his expression suddenly changed. Wait. He looked at Sophia. Why are you here? Sophia became serious. Because they know. Adrian's face turned cold. Who? Da. Sophia looked at me. The ivory circle. Before anyone could react, every screen in the mansion turned on. A man appeared, older, calm, powerful. I had never seen him before, but Adrian immediately recognized him. His face became pale. Impossible. I looked at him. Who is he? Whispered. The founder. The man on the screen smiled. Alina Carter. His voice filled the room. You finally remembered the truth. I stared. What do you want? The man smiled. I want what was taken from me. What? He looked directly at Adrian. The air. My heart tightened. Then he looked at me. And the woman who created him. I froze. What? The man continued. Adrian forgot his past. But you forgot yours. The screen changed. A childhood photo appeared. Me. Standing beside a young boy, not Adrian. Someone else. Someone I had never seen. Under the photo was a name. Lucas Carter. The man smiled. Your real brother. My blood ran cold. Because I had never had a brother. At least, I thought I didn't. And then the final message appeared. Ilona, you have been searching for the man you lost. A pause. But you should have been searching for the family you never knew you had. The screen went black. But the words remained. You should have been searching for the family you never knew you had. I stood there completely frozen. My brother, Lucas Carter. A name that should have meant nothing. But somehow, my heart reacted before my mind did. A strange pain appeared in my chest. A memory. A small hand holding mine. A little boy standing in front of me. A voice saying, Don't cry, Ellie. I'll protect you. I grabbed my head. The room started spinning. Elena. Adrian rushed toward me. The floor. And suddenly, I remembered. Not everything. Only fragments. A house. A fire. My mother screaming. My father shouting. A little boy carrying me outside. A boy covered in blood. My brother, Lucas. Then another memory appeared. A man standing in the darkness. The founder of the ivory circle. I opened my eyes. Adrian was holding my hand. His face was full of fear. Not billionaire fear, not CEO fear, the fear of losing someone again. Are you okay? I pulled my hand away. Not because I hated him, because my mind was full of questions. My brother was real. Adrian became silent. Yes. You knew? He looked down. Yes. My heart sank. Another secret? I wanted to tell you. But you didn't. I couldn't. I laughed. A painful laugh. Everyone always says that. I couldn't. I had no choice. You were protecting me. My eyes became cold, but nobody protected me from the truth. Adrian accepted the anger because he knew I was right. Sophia stepped forward. Elena, you need to understand something. I looked at her. What? Lucas Carter is not just your brother. I frowned. Then what is he? Sophia hesitated. The reason the ivory circle exists. The room became silent. What? Sophia continued. Your brother was the first person who discovered the ivory circle's secret. I looked at the screen. Lucas. Yes. How? No one knows. She looked at Adrian. But Adrian's father believed Lucas was dangerous. Why? Because Lucas found the original records. Records of what? Sophia whispered. The people who created the world's largest hidden financial network. I frowned. And my brother wanted to expose them? Yes. Then why did everyone say he disappeared? Sophia looked away. Because he didn't disappear. My heart tightened. Then where is he? Nobody answered. That silence was terrifying. Finally, Adrian spoke. He became the person everyone feared. I looked at him. What does that mean? Adrian took a deep breath. After your family was destroyed, Lucas changed, stopped trying to expose the ivory circle. He started trying to control it. My expression changed. My brother became one of them? No. Adrian shook his head. He became worse. The mansion suddenly felt colder. Why? Because Lucas believed one thing. Adrian looked at me. People, Meyer, cannot be saved. I didn't speak, Adrian continued. He believed the only way to destroy evil was to become stronger than evil. And he succeeded. A strange fear appeared inside me. Lucas controls the ivory circle? Adrian nodded. Part of it? Part? Yes. Then who controls the rest? Nobody answered. Again, another hidden layer. Another unanswered question. I was starting to understand the pattern. Every truth was just a doorway, and behind every doorway was something darker. My phone suddenly vibrated. A message from Lucas. Everyone froze. I opened it. Only one sentence. Come home, little sister. My breathing stopped because nobody had called me that before. Nobody except the voice from my forgotten childhood. Another message appeared. An address. The old Carter family estate. The place destroyed 20 years ago. Adrian immediately shook his head. No, I looked at him. You can't go there. Why? Because it's a trap. I smiled bitterly. Everything is a trap. Elena? I looked at him. You lost 3 years of memories. His expression changed. I lost 3 years with you. The sentence hurt because it was true. But I still couldn't forgive everything. Not yet. I'm going. Adrian stepped closer. Then I'm coming with you. No. He stopped. I need answers. So do I. I looked at him. But I need to know if those answers are yours. The pain in his eyes was obvious. But he nodded. Okay. Sophia looked shocked. You're letting her go alone? Adrian smiled sadly. She was never someone I could control. That was the first time I realized something. The old Adrian was gone. The man who once made decisions for me, the man who thought sacrificing himself was protecting me, was, finally, understanding. Love was not choosing someone's path. Love was walking beside them. Not in front. Not behind. Beside. 2 hours later, I arrived at the Carter estate. The place was exactly like my nightmares. Broken walls. Burned wood. Empty windows. Inside. The lights turned on. Someone had been waiting. A man stood in the center of the room. Tall. Calm. Familiar. My heart stopped. Because even though I had never seen his adult face, I knew him. Lucas. The man smiled. Hello, Ellie. My eyes filled. That nickname. Only one person called me that. My brother. The boy who promised to protect me. The boy I thought never existed. I walked closer. Why? Lucas looked at me. Why did you let me believe you were dead? His expression changed. Because if you knew I was alive, he paused. They would have killed you. I shook my head. Everyone says they are protecting me. Lucas smiled sadly. Because everyone failed you. I stared. What do you mean? He walked toward an old family portrait. Our parents didn't die because they discovered the ivory circle. I froze. Then why? Lucas touched the photo. Died because they discovered something worse. What? He turned. The ivory circle was not created to control the world. A pause. It was created to protect the world from someone. My face changed. From who? Lucas looked directly at me. From our own family. Silence. I couldn't understand. Our family. Yes. Why? Lucas opened an old drawer. Inside was a file. My name, Adrian's name. The ivory circle, everything. He placed it on the table. Because the Carter family was the original enemy, I stared at him. No. Yes. Lucas looked at me. Our ancestors created the first version of this system. Then why did they fight it? Because they realized they had created something they couldn't control. My head hurt. Every person I trusted, every family, every memory, nothing was simple anymore. Lucas opened the file. The first page contained a photo. A photo of my parents, but beside them was another person. A woman. A woman I recognized. My mother, but younger, standing beside the founder of the Ivory Circle, holding hands. I froze. No, Lucas whispered. The woman you believed was a victim was one of the founders. World went silent. My mother, the woman I cried for, the woman I believed was innocent, was connected to the beginning of everything. Then Lucas said the sentence that destroyed the last piece of my trust. Elena, your memories were not erased because you saw the truth. They were erased because you helped create it.